Hey folks, in this video we're going to show you how to utilize the font usage tab. This tab allows you to review and actually generate Excel formatted reporting documentation. So let's take a look at how and where you can do that. First of all, working with Fontagent Server on-premise or cloud, as an administrator, you are able to generate font usage reports in various tabs throughout the interface. So let's take a look at those and highlight those. First of all, in the Fonts tab in the upper left, if you select that, you also have a Font Usage tab. There, you can look at a new window that pops up that gives you the option to expand and review on the server some information about those fonts, the licensing, whether it was assigned, downloaded, in use, and from what machine. You can also alternatively generate a Excel spreadsheet that has a lot of great data, which we'll show you a little bit later on in this video. That's one area. If you go to Sets, and I change it to the Sets tab, you can look at usage reports by the set itself. And what does that mean? Well, that means the set and the fonts in that set. I can also expand this and look at this very information here and download it as well. So you have a number of areas by license, font usage, expand, and if you notice to the right of the expand and collapse, there is a filter there where you can filter fonts to make the report a little more granular for you. The other thing to note too, as I've been showing you this, you'll notice that there's a green highlight. If the font is out of compliance, it will automatically go to a light red background. So know that. Now there's some other things to look at here too. Based on your licensing information, the reporting will give you the following. How many people did you assign that font? In other words, how many people did you give access to? How many people are actually using that font? And based on the license file that you put with it, how many licenses are available for that document? It shows in compliance because it's not in use by anybody, but you've over-assigned it as an example. If there's only a license for 10, you should only assign it to 10 people. Just one example, okay? Users, let's take a look at users. If I go down to my user and I click font usage, I can scroll through and look at what's in compliance. I can expand upon that and get different information, uploaded, assigned, might even see things that say in use for, is like how long that font's been in use for. And again, assigned, used by, licensed. And although it shows in compliance, you've assigned it to too many people. The good news is nobody's using it. So maybe that's something that you can delete from the workflow because if nobody's using it. Here we have assigned to 25 and licensed to 30. So it's in compliance because you haven't over-assigned the license that you own, as an example. Another way to look at where and what is being used. We can go by group. We can select a group, just like we do with font, tag, set, license, user. We can go to the font usage tab and we can select a particular group and look at that. Expand upon it, see what's going on, and again, always be able to download it. Machine tab. Maybe we want to look at how the fonts have been distributed by machine. Again, the same information, so the same construct is being used for every tab. Function, features. If you want to download it, you go here. That's a little bit about reporting. Now, what kind of report do you get? I'm going to go ahead and select this Excel spreadsheet, which will take a second to load. And once it loads, we have a lot of information here. So let's take a look at it. When we load this spreadsheet up, this is the one that's been downloaded from the font usage tabs that you'll get as an Excel spreadsheet. License counts, summary of everything that's going on the server as far as compliance goes, current activations, fonts that are currently activated in the workflow at the time of this report download. In other words, people have, within the last hour of the download, activated fonts, and this will show you what's been activated. Now, it doesn't show whether they're actually using it, but it shows that they've activated it for use. Those are two different things. And this basically just states that people have activated that font for use. It doesn't mean that they're using it. Just wanted to point that out. And then out of compliance. Out of compliance basically goes through and says, oh, well, these are all out of compliance because they haven't been licensed. And that's an easy thing to see over here in license status. So you have the font information, the family information, the foundry information, the license count. So when you create a license file with that count, it'll show here. How many users have you given access to this font or assigned count? Assigned users, currently active. In other words, have those users activated that font? Right? And then license status. And this always shows that there's no license to file attached to those fonts, and that's why we get those things. Now the last tab is important because it gives you a diagram of how all of these things work and what they mean. So take a look at all of those things to help you with your compliance reporting. And again, you have a lot of options there. You can always combine all of these sheets if you're an Excel wizard and do pivot tables and such to really get a deep look into what's being used and how. And that's something that we don't do, but you can certainly do that. But we give you a lot of different ways to show how things are being used. Thank you for watching.